we had to proactively start changing the way business was being conducted and take a leadership position in that. The web has disrupted the value chain, and customers have started demanding tremendous amount of flexibility and choice. Mobility started off as a very consumerish phenomena. People would carry a smartphone for email, contacts, LinkedIn, Facebook. But now with this proliferation of tablets, B2B, business to business, is starting being conducted more and more using mobility. So that clearly has been a big focus for us, both cloud and mobility. So we spent a lot of time in 2013 and a lot of investment sort of building the foundations so that we get this right. We had to build the infrastructures, the platforms. We had to test out these applications. What sort of was more of a vision is now commercial reality. We have these applications out in the market. You can go to iTunes and download these.
With a year of development under your belt, can you talk more concretely about how it's shaped up, so what you're delivering in terms of the apps, what you're delivering internally in terms of how people take advantage of them?
Yeah, that's a great question. We realized if you're going to go into mobility, we are going to go with scale in mind. And not just scale for Sage, but scale for our ecosystem. Because again, we never believed that it's about the apps themselves. It's about enabling mobility. We started off with Sage Mobile Sales, which now allows the sales force to be mobile and not just be able to take orders, but check inventory, look at past history, query up a customer and all of that. So that was the first app we developed, was Sage Mobile Sales. Along with that, customers told us their service technicians, when they have a ticket and when they conduct a service, they want that whole order to cash system to work rapidly. So we came up with Sage Mobile Service. And then a huge opportunity for us is mobile billing and payments. So the three apps were Sage Mobile Sales, Sage Mobile Service, and Sage Billing and Payments. So we decided to give ourselves 3 months after launch and really work through all the details with third parties. And then later in the year, we expect to sort of now opening it up to a larger marketplace. We're still going to be cautious. To me, it's quality over quantity. I don't see us, for example, having a marketplace where there'll be, a dozen expense report third-party products. If expense report is a need, we're going to solve that with either ourselves or with one solid product.
Right. And that's something that I wanted to ask you about, was how do you balance what approach works?
Yeah, so we actually have a very disciplined process called idea testing. It's what's needed, and then who's the best person to provide that. Our focus was A, make sure we promote our brand, and B, we create a tremendous customer experience.
Do you foresee a time where deployment will be cloud-oriented, whether it's on-premise or off?
We're obviously going to watch how the market evolves. If I were to bet, we are preparing ourselves for that tipping point to happen in the next 3 to 4 years.
How are you feeling about making use of cloud components? The one that caught my eye in particular was a slide that mentioned the Sage ID.
The largest customer calls in the cloud today are customers calling because they've forgotten the password. Right. It's an industry standard. So we don't want to push the customer where you have so we're really trying to push single sign-on. Doing Sage ID was the best way for us to start. I don't have specifics to give you now, but it's heavily under research.
Another big area that we spoke about last year, and it's come through quite strongly here, was about the user experience. Yeah, I know you put an enormous amount of work into not just the look and feel of the user interfaces, but the workflow, making things as quick and accessible as possible, making things as intuitive as possible, which really means making it more complicated for yourself to make it simpler for an end user.
We had to make a pretty significant change in the way we were doing design. We started at a very basic grassroots level. We threw away a lot of the old assumptions that we knew in a world that was probably more tolerant because there weren't those many choices. You didn't have this plethora of devices out there. And this product design experience department actually is very empowered. They can hold back a release if they feel it doesn't meet a design criteria. The new process that we rolled out for product release and delivery, because we've adopted the agile development methodology, is the design team has a very strong say in whether a product ships or not, which, as you can imagine, creates some interesting tension internally because you think the product is ready based on what we agreed to. And the designers, obviously within limits, can come and say that here's our visual identity guide, here was the experience we set out to do, and this falls short. I sort of sit back and enjoy some of that creative tension that goes on between our architects and our designers. But unless we do that, we really can't get serious about extraordinary customer experience.